I'm Nebula. I live in my car, I like to be creative, and I love seeing things from a new point of view. And wherever you are, welcome to the Blond Radio episode of The Art of Life. How to describe Blond Radio? Well, it's an online community based around a Discord server, a podcast, a Twitch streaming account, and a TikTok account. A community that prioritized above all else listening and empathy. And at its core, it was a community. I mean, I've said that word like 3 times now. I, like many others, discovered it during the pandemic. And when I say the pandemic, I mean through the TikTok algorithm. It knew us better than we knew ourselves, and it brought us together through Brad, the host and creator of Blond Radio. What started out as just enjoying the content and concept of prioritizing listening became a full deep dive into the niche world of enhanced empathy. I joined the Discord server, I watched many of the streams, and I listened to almost every single Blond Radio podcast episode of Brad interviewing different strangers from around the world. And while I did attend many of the game nights, poetry events, and engaged with much of the content Brad produced, I tended to be pretty shy in the Discord due to heightened social anxiety as a side effect of the isolation of the pandemic. Even so, I was lucky enough to make a few friends from that server. One of them being
Maple? Hi!
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 You're so tall!
I know! Okay. Hi, Maple. I guess for the memes, give me the elevator pitch on you.
Hi, I'm Maple. I'm from Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, according to my neighbor, I'm just a gamer. I work 3 jobs.
Okay.
And yeah.
Nice. First off, you're not just a gamer. Being a gamer is hella cool. I mean, we met on Blond Radio. I guess, what's your relationship with Blond Radio now? Now and then? Like, how did you discover it and where have you come?
Well, I saw it on TikTok. And TikTok was that iffy place. My mom was always like, don't go on there. It's always, a bunch of girls dancing. And I was like, well, it depends on what side of TikTok you're on.
Yep.
I got the very artsy side of TikTok. So it was either gaming clips or, hey, let's create this artwork. So I wasn't huge on interacting with people I didn't know. So when I saw Blond Radio, I had sat on the thought of joining for a couple of days. And I was like, you know what? You can't, like, if I don't join it, there's always going to be that, what if I didn't? And if you do join it and then you don't enjoy it, then at least you can say you tried. So I joined it, and it actually became a sense of like peace and where I came. It was actually like video games. It was my sense of where I go to feel at home type thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, having that ability to have this place that you had this sense of comfort in, like, to still have that now, like, is so beautiful and important. And like, I also really like what you said about, if you like, I was never really into talking to people online and strangers, but like, worst case, I pop in for like a couple days, I don't like it, and I like go away. And was there anything that kind of helped you find that ideology within yourself, if that makes sense?
Growing up, I hear a lot that you can't really, you can always, I don't know how to put it in words. Like,
it's okay.
If you don't do something, then you might regret it for the rest of your life. But if you do it, you can always say you at least tried.
Yeah.
So, you never want to go your life thinking, am I gonna regret this? So sometimes it's best to just make choices and just do things, because say it's gonna be the only time you have that choice.
Yeah.
Are you gonna regret it if you don't take that choice?
Yeah.
it doesn't really hurt to try different things. So.
And I honestly, to some degree, I feel like I'm a little bit on the flip side of that with, I like agree with what you're saying, but like specifically with Blond Radio, like I felt like what you were feeling when I was like right before I joined. And then even with when I joined, I feel like I was in a very socially anxious point in my life at that time. And, there's always this idea of like, do I join in the call? Do I like type knock knock in the like chat? And I think I regret a little bit not joining in and talking as much as I could have, especially during that time when it was so lonely. So like, props to you for going into it and like just being like, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna give it my all, and just meeting all these cool people.
Yeah, I think joining a room with someone I don't know kind of made me feel nervous. But being one of the earlier people on the Minecraft server, I was always on like 24/7.
Yeah.
So when Brad would introduce people into the server, I'd be like, hey, do you need anything? Let me know. So it's like I kind of knew people from doing what I loved.
Okay. Last question. How do you think Blond Radio has shaped who you are now?
It's definitely given me more perspective of like everybody has a story, and so it kind of helps me give everybody a chance to like, this person went through this and they did it a different way, so just because you went through something different paths and stuff. I don't know how to word it, but
no, I get what you're saying. Like, and that I feel like that was also a big part of what Blond Radio was like, I don't know how much you listen to the podcast. I know you're very active on the server, but like, I feel like at the beginning of every episode, Brad would say, hi, I'm Brad, random fact about me, and I love seeing things from a new point of view. And like, that was, I feel like what Blond Radio was a hub for people who, may have not realized that they value that, or it helps people realize that they value that listening and empathy and how much that's important. I don't know if that makes sense.
It kind of shows that not everybody is the same. Everybody can be given the same thing and do it completely different. Yeah. But it still work out or not work out. And it kind of gives people, oh, that's what they went through. Maybe I could try that. Or it gives them a sense of hope. Well, this person went through this, that I can keep doing and moving on and stuff. So it's just the different points of view of how people did things differently.
When I decided to go on this journey, I knew that I wanted to meet as many people as I could. But that said, I knew that meeting Brad was one of the top things on my list. The opportunity to meet the person who had shaped this new section of my life in so many ways was an opportunity I had to chase. And thankfully, he was down. And all of a sudden, the day was here. That might seem strange, but to me, I wasn't just meeting someone whose content I liked. This is a person who I greatly admired, who was and still is a role model to me. And beyond that, he changed my chapter, and thus he changed the whole story. But even in spite of the anxious energy brewing within me the moments before we met, something in me told me that this conversation was going to be one of the highlights of this journey. When I first began theater, someone told me that it's okay to be nervous, because being nervous means that you care. I remember telling myself that right before I started recording. Fantastic. Hi, Brad.
Hello. But Ben, it's so weird to call you Ben, not Nebula.
Yeah, I mean, you can call me Nebula too. That's fine. That's actually like, I don't know. I'm thinking about making my creative persona.
Oh, nice.
As like, I don't know, feels unique. It feels fun. It makes me happy. So,
cool.
Yeah. I guess to start off, just for the memes and the memes, can you give me the elevator pitch on you? Who are you? What do you do? Where do you come from?
Oh my God,
what got you here?
Yeah. I'm Brad.
Hi, Brad.
I live on the beautiful west coast of Canada.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always been a creative person. I've gone to school for it. Some of my jobs have been creatively inclined, some not.
Yeah.
And then I find time. I still, even though I'm not doing content full time like I used to, I still intentionally every day try to make something.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. That,
Yeah.
like, you know, you're like, because I feel like a lot of people can get to a point where they're like, oh, hey, like, it's hard to do it all the time, but when you like set aside, like, hey, this is, you know, I'm going to do it once a day. I'm going to make something. It's a good way to keep it alive.
If you work at something every day, it's impossible to get worse. I heard that in one of my first interviews I did.
Really? One of the first?
Yeah.
Wow. That's good advice.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
What made you prioritize listening and empathy, like even before Blond Radio, because that's very much a big value of
yeah yours. It's
like,
very character based, and I feel like I clicked into that. I don't know when I realized. I don't know when you become self-aware, but
yeah,
I think it's byproduct of being just a really shy kid. You're a wallflower to a lot of conversation, like, and being told at a young age, oh, you have an old soul just because you're quiet and listen a lot.
yeah, I feel that. I was a very quiet kid, so
yeah. And I don't know, it's just such a welcoming opportunity to understand someone better. It all starts with listening. How are you going to address someone's needs if you don't know where they're coming from, where they're at?
Yeah.
I think I was in the 9th grade when my high school crush at the time told me that I had a calming presence, and I was like, that was it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like in retrospect from there, I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. I've always been more low-key, more introverted than extroverted, and I feel like that welcomes a space for people to open up a little bit more. Sometimes it's like too much. People be sharing a little too like that I meet for the first time, like coworkers or
it's like, here's all my trauma. It's like, whoa.
Literally at my boat job on one of my last weeks there, one of the mechanics who, we talked occasionally, but he just like unloaded about his like kid and like the trauma and bills he's dealing with, and it was like really intimate. I'm like, what did I do to But no, empathy is, I've said before in videos and stuff, it's such a superpower. It's just a free pass to better understand the world around you, and you could use that in like a really negative, like manipulative way, I guess.
I'm gonna be empathetic to like take over the world.
But I don't know, it just makes the world a little bigger and brighter if you can see the other people in it as having as deep and complex lives as you do.
You never know what someone's going through. You never know someone else's perspective. And
like,
there are so many different perspectives and lives to be lived, and lives that are being lived, and you know, it's a really important thing.
Totally. And coming back to like the brightness of it all, like, I don't know, it's very easy to assume the worst in people, to assume behavior is just simply like against you or creating an obstacle. But if you choose to see like, because we lack context for literally everything. So if you just assume people are doing things with the best intentions, the best context, like, sure, that may be a little naive and maybe put you in vulnerable positions, but it's like, makes the world a lot brighter, makes it a lot easier to stomach like all the bad of the world if you come at with a focal point of, you know what, like, there's good intentions here and it's all gonna work out. It's unrealistic, but it's gotten me here.
I mean, I hear that, and that's like, it's, you know, even if it is a little naive, like you said, like, kind of makes living a little easier in some ways. And I don't know, I thank you also,
of course,
because like I mentioned this earlier, I was a quiet kid, but like I don't think I really truly recognized how listening and empathy could be a superpower until I joined Blond Radio.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad.
At a point where I'm like, okay, I want to use that superpower. Find new perspectives and see that more, and that's part of why I'm doing this. Like,
that's awesome.
It's not only a journey of, you know, seeing new places, but it's a lot of meeting new people too, and meeting people who've had an impact on me. So,
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Thank you. It's interesting hearing you didn't even mention Blond Radio in your... I mean, I guess it's been so long now, but...
I mean, I kind of like, I guess, ended... Well, I knew I was going to end the project probably December of last year. So for me, it feels like I've been done with it since then, but I officially ended it probably around February. But still, like, I recognize it now as like this big, huge, life-changing thing for me. I wouldn't be the person I am today without it.
Yeah.
But another part of me, I know I'm overly nostalgic and get hung up on the past, like seeing all those screenshots from especially like the first year. I'm like, oh, we had such a good time. We were all in lockdown, spending so much time together. It was great. But I don't know. It was such lightning in a bottle. Like, I think a big reason of why I couldn't sustain it is like, and with a lot of my creative mutuals that blew up on TikTok, like we had such an opportunity. Everyone had like 8 extra hours of free time a day. We were all inside. We were all on our phones scrolling TikTok. Yeah. So we had time to be a part of communities and be active and be more online, which was cool. You could share perspectives. You could meet people you wouldn't otherwise. But at the end of the day, not to say COVID's gone, but it's a lot more.
Yeah.
And
people are vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like we're at a point where life has kind of continued.
Yeah.
Back to what it was.
And I'd be such a small person if I was upset that people could get back to the things in their day-to-day life that they enjoy. That's awesome. Blond Radio is awesome.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
There's just not space for it anymore, and that's okay.
Yeah. There comes a time and place where it's like, nothing lasts forever, and it's okay to let things go and move on.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really glad that we could end it on what I felt was a higher note instead of letting it like fizzle out. So
what made you decide to, instead of letting it fizzle out, be like, this is the end, this is the finality?
I think a lot of it goes to I've seen a lot of my favorite creators in the pre-COVID just like by way of burnout, or just they're doing the same stuff over and over. They just like run themselves into the ground and they lose momentum on the thing they really enjoyed. I felt myself starting to lose that momentum like October-ish of last year, and I was like, oh no. And I tried like bunch of different things. I experimented, I did some stuff. I was like, no, like I can't force genuine like things. You can't you can't force passion. You can't force a genuine truth in an artistic way. So I was like, this feels disingenuous.
Yeah.
Let's end this on a high note. Let's like hit the tributes, do the big road trip, see everybody.
Yeah.
And
which that video was like such a wonderful end.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had been like, I went to summer camp and they were like, I wasn't really able to like, like podcast was during the creating.
Exactly.
There wasn't that much stuff there, and then come August I moved to LA and I was like doing that whole thing. And then I remember seeing the Instagram post saying Blond Radio is ending, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's ending? Oh my god, I have to be there to like be a part of it. And I think it made it a lot better than letting it fizzle out, because I still would think about it sometimes and be like, oh, I wonder what's happened there, and then at the end I was like, okay, I want to be there. And it was nice to have this like celebration of what was and kind of close it out.
And it went beyond that for me too. Seeing Brad decide to end Blond Radio made me reflect about myself and my own desires, my own stubbornness, and holding on to what might be better let go of.
I made a lot of cool shit that I liked, but also at the end of the day, I stopped enjoying it, I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
During the final stream, he had us all answer in the chat, what are your goals for the future? Not for next week, like usual, but for whenever it may come up. And I thought about it. And I thought about where I was at in life. A boy in Los Angeles who had a dream that was leading him to unhappiness. I typed out my goal, and I hit send.
And Neb Carter. Nebula. Engage with my creative side more than I have been recently. Put myself out there more, specifically socially, but also in general. I allow myself to move on and recognize when it's time to let go and let a chapter reach its close so I can open a new one. It's like you've seen the video already. That's so beautiful.
And I meant that. Brad officially ended Blond Radio on February 13th. February 14th, I met up with one of my closest friends for a Valentine's Day dinner, and I told him that I was stepping away from acting for an indefinite period of time. Maybe for a year, maybe forever.
Sup, boys? Ben Carter vlog.
Oh my god.
No. How hanging out in the car.
I mean, I guess this is a good way to start it out, but like...
Okay, actually though, feelings on today.
Today was a good day. We talked about feelings and how life can hurt, but also can feel good. We both got some major decisions to figure out in our fucking life. Jesus Christ, that was like bombshells. I'm excited for how both of us kind of go and give it a shot.
Parting words?
Do more of these, Ben. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
We'll see.
I loved acting, and I still do. But it was beginning to feel like my pursuit of it was hindering my creativity.
The snow of yesterday that felt like cherry petals is water once again.
I had lived in Los Angeles for over 6 months at that point, and I had next to no memories or experiences to show for it.
You owe yourself to embrace what every moment offers.
I wasn't living. I was a slave to a dream that was keeping me asleep.
I give my name back as I step in this Eden of flowers.
Brad choosing to end Blond Radio broke me up.
I hope you live bravely today, regretting nothing.
It gave me the courage to see that it's possible to let go of something you once held so dearly.
Child of the way, I leave at last a willow on the other shore.
In fact, it can be beautiful to do so.
Letting go is hard, but it's that sense of finality that makes this life so worth living.
And just because one thing ends, doesn't mean that another thing can't blossom in its place.
The thing I've taken from it is I've made all these connections individually one-on-one. Like maybe it's not, we're all getting a call once a week, 10 people, but it's like I'm checking in with the people I've met and that have changed my life. And I know that other people in the community have too.
Yeah.
That's invaluable. That's all that the project was really about. It's like build a connection with someone new, someone different, someone who's going to change your worldview. So mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And now on to the next thing. I don't know what it is yet, but
I've been seeing the docs. I love them. They're great. But like, do you have any idea?
I have like,
okay, if not.
I have smaller, different direction art stuff that I'm working on. But no, I'm still playing stuff out. So I don't know. It's all forward momentum.
Yeah.
As long as you keep creating, that's a net positive and hopefully improvement.
Yeah. I mean, throwback to what you said before at the very beginning.
Yeah.
If you create one thing every day, a little bit every day, you can't get worse.
Exactly.
So full circle.
I'm now on the adventure of a lifetime, and if I hadn't let go of that pursuit, I wouldn't be making all the incredible memories I'm making now. And the big reason I had the courage to do so was because Brad led the way.
I guess I don't want to end, but like last question. How has Blond Radio shaped who you are today?
Yeah.
Whether that be, the podcast and like the community or just the creative project of it or any of it.
Probably like the key fundamentals are like I'm way more open to meeting people and being comfortable around new people, and I'm not as shy as probably I have been in the past, even though I feel like I got through the main shy block.
Yeah.
Like in high school and stuff. But even now I'm like, my partner, I went out to see them this August, and the second night I was there, she planned this whole shindig get together with like 30 of her friends.
30?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god.
All who I've never met, but I've heard a lot about them.
Yeah.
And it's like a party, and I didn't tell her this until afterwards. Like I don't go to parties. I'm not a party person. I'm not.
Yeah. I feel that.
So I was like sweating my ass off before, but I was like trying to play cool. Like, oh no, I'm so excited. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's like it's fine.
Yeah. And it turned out totally fine. Like, sure, I was a little awkward and definitely like wasn't peak Brad, but it was fine, and I had fun, and I met cool people, and by the end of the night, like 2 of them I really connected with, and now we message each other, and it's cute.
Nice.
Like. So there's that, and the other aspect is probably like I see the world as so much brighter than before, and I think that's a byproduct of like empathy, but also I have a lot of homes now in a lot of different places, like connections with people all around the world. These places aren't mysteries anymore. There's people there that are interested in the same things I am, and the fact that I could find that anywhere if I looked for it, wow, that's cool.
That is really cool. Yeah.
So like thanks TikTok algorithm, because that's something I also think about a lot. It's like, wow, we all like, there's so many cool people in this Discord. How does that happen? I'm like, oh, the algorithm thinks we all have the same like For You page and all put us like on the same content and we're on the same. So that makes sense. It makes sense that like a bunch of people in here like Frank Ocean and art. Like that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, there's people everywhere to be connected to, and the world's bright.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Nice and wholesome.
Yeah.
No, and like, I mean, even if it is the TikTok algorithm that like, showed that, and it still led everyone to Blond Radio.
Exactly.
So they all chose to join that community.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know you can find a home in a community and people wherever you go.
Yeah.
Which I hope you do get to go travel the world and do that thing and see everyone. I don't know if that's in the plans at any point, but
it's definitely something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen
one day. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Brad. And
thank you
again, thank you so much. Blond Radio
worries.
genuinely meant the world to me, and like still does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Even though Blond Radio is over, the effect that it left will be everlasting. A whole community of people, myself among them, now value listening, empathy, and seeing things from a new point of view in a way they never would have before. And because of that, I like to think the world is a bit of a brighter place. At the very least, I know my life has been forever changed for the better because of it. So thank you to the community, thank you Blond Radio, and thank you Brad.
Bye, Brad. Besitos.
See you soon. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for tuning in.
And thanks for tuning in to Blond Radio. Hey, the end of the video, you made it. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. I have an ask and I have a task. My ask is that if you liked the video, either leave a comment or send me a message and let me know what you thought. Your words are the greatest gift you could give me, and they will go a long way. If not, that's fine. And then my task is for you to reach out to someone, either an old friend, like if you're in the Blond Radio community and there's someone who you haven't talked to in a while, reach out to them. Or preferably reach out to someone new. That's a lot of what Blond Radio was about, was trying to find people with a new point of view and finding new perspectives. So, whether that be a cashier at the grocery store or someone in a park who looks different, or maybe like a different lunch table than what you usually sit at if you're a student, try to reach out to someone new. There's a lot of value in that. So yeah, that's what that is. Thank you so much for watching and appreciate you very much. All right, bye.